Hi, nerds. It's Thursday, December 5th. December 5th happens to be the day before Nate and I's mother's birthday. So, firstly, Eric, I feel I must apologize to you. Um, I need to. Yes, Devin? Hold on. So, anyway, like I was saying, um, Eric, I feel I must apologize to you for, um, well, my negligence on Friday of last week. So I feel like a punishment on me is eligible for. I guess I should mention that I'm helping Devin study for his math final. So, anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. I have to apologize because, look, it was definitely my fault for the, not paying attention to the fact that it was Friday the day I promised to put my video up. So, a punishment, I feel, could come from you and from Nate. So, I'm sorry. And also, I know that, anyone that has known Nate as long as you and I have know that how much awesomeness it would be to see him without the scruff. So that is going to be again. I'll be back. And so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right. Because he never has the beard off. He's just always has beard. And, it's a nice thick beard, but it would have been awesome to, see him without the beard again. So, for those of you who don't know this, when Nate has his beard off and our hair is cut very similarly, the two of us look almost identical. I look just a hair bit shorter, and it's getting closer and closer in height, so he does what he can to make sure that he is the one with the beard and I am the one without the beard, which, as you can see right now, kinda not happening. So, anyway, can I get through a rant? Jeez, So he never has his beard off. So it's not ever a problem telling us apart anymore because my beard isn't coming in super thick and, he looks different. But for a time, when I was a kid, everyone would get us confused and, they'd say, oh, you look so much like Nate and Nate looks so much like Robert. And Nate would always get so annoyed by this. And I would always find it really awesome. Because for me, if I looked like Nate, I was getting older, my brother was awesome. I mean, he could get Legos apart when no one else could. Do you know how awesome that is? I mean, they were stuck together. But more than that, he had really cool friends, he played really cool games, he was, I was a little kid, and he was an awesome older brother. So I guess, Nate, I've never said thank you for that, so thank you for being such an awesome older brother, and I know I was annoying, because you still have $5 on the wall that says I admit to be annoying. That's another story. And, really? So, myself, I never really found out. Well, I never understood why Nate wanted to be, not looking like me, and why it always annoyed him so much that he looked like me. Because looking like him was awesome, like I said. But I think I've put it together. Or at least why having your own sort of identity is good. Because growing up, Nate and I were always mom and dad's kids. So that's how they knew us. And then, when Nate got to be known a little bit more, I looked like a little Nathan. So I was a little Nathan and Nate was a big Robert. So So that's, that was always annoying for Nate to be, he was not classified as his own thing a lot through his teenage years, and that's really a time that you want to be developing who you are and making your decisions as to who you will be. I feel when Nate grew out the beard, he was sort of marking that he was his own person, and that's a good thing. I really enjoy that Nate is his own person, because I enjoy my things, and even though Nate and I enjoy a lot of the same things, I do not get as many Star Trek references as he does. But I'll be back. Okay. Yeah, and so where was I? And as a kid, I appreciated Nate being his own person, but, people never stopped coming up to me and calling me Nathan, because Nathan always, didn't have a beard before he had a beard, so I always looked like Nathan. So it was still awesome for me to be thought of as Nathan, where, he was thought of as his own person, and he became his own idea and his own thing, and, I'm trying to say that identity is very important. And having your own identity and having that not be reliant on someone else's. And I don't think that point's coming across very well, so I'm just going to say it. But Nate and I being very similar, it's always been a great tool for us to be, hanging out, and we always enjoy the same thing, Doctor Who. I don't mind watching Star Trek, I just don't understand the references as well as he does. And, other nerdy things. So that... I'll be back. So, once again, Eric, I'm sorry for not posting last Friday. Even though everyone else seemed to get a Thanksgiving-themed video up, I did not seem to find the time, so that's my bad. And, back to the topic at hand. Finding one's identity will always be a struggle for anyone that has to go through that process. It's just going to be a fact of life. Mostly due to the fact that knowing who you are is one of the hardest questions I think anyone will ever have to answer. And I'm having a serious conversation here. I'll be back. So with that, I would like to apologize one more time to Eric. And admittedly, Nate looks like, let's say, a 14-year-old boy when he doesn't have his beard on. So Nate, I proudly give you your identity back. So next week is finals and stuff. So I will do my best to create a video for you, but please don't freak out if it's not full length or anything. And remember, never exchange reasonable deduction with a shave. There's no Devin.